Hi everyone. So today I want to do something a little different, and this has been an idea that I've been thinking about for quite a while now, a couple of years in fact. I figured I would take another look at, I would take a look at another id Software property, and that is Quake 3 Arena. But this time I don't want to focus on something that I modded or something I created. I just want to focus on why Quake 3 Arena, in my opinion, has some of the best arena maps ever to exist in any first-person shooter. So I thought about which map should I pick. This is a map that has been remade countless times. Even Quake Champions has their own version of this. And Quake 4 also has their own version of this map. And this is the campgrounds or camping grounds, depending on who you ask. So there are a couple rules that I have when it comes to level design, particularly in arena shooters or just any first-person shooter really that has items and weapons that you have to pick up. The rules that I like to live by when it comes to designing maps of this nature is basically the rules that I think that some of the people at id Software followed, whether intentionally or subconsciously, and that is every large room should have a powerful item, whether it be a powerful weapon or armor. In this case, in this room here, we have a mega health, which gives you an additional 100 points of health. So rule number 2 is that the map should not take you longer than 10 seconds to move from one end of the map to the other. It doesn't have to be 10 seconds. If it's a big map, then yeah, sure, it could be longer than that. But this map is I would consider to be a sort of medium-sized to medium-large size map. So if I were to go from one end of the map to the other, okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, that's the other side of the map. So it took me less than 10 seconds to get from one end of the map to the other. This is why I think that games like Unreal Tournament doesn't have as good levels as Quake, because a lot of their levels are very labyrinthy and very confusing and tedious to get from one point to another. And it's very difficult to get your bearings. And this is now leading into the third rule, that not every room, but every large room or important section of the map has to have a landmark. So in this case, you got the stairs here with this bridge up here. Obviously, you got this middle room here with this really high jump shaft, or whatever you call it. And of course, you got these funny column platforms here. So this map has lots of iconic little areas. Just everywhere you go, you know exactly where you are. Every room is distinct. Every corner, every corridor, every bridge or platform or whatever, it is also distinct. So players can learn the layout very quickly. Even if you're a new player, that's important. You don't want something like spending a long time memorizing the layout of the map to get in the way of having fun in a first-person shooter. Maps should be easy to read. They should be easy to navigate, not necessarily easy to get around. For instance, there's that railgun. Oh, I really want that railgun, but you can't jump to it, so you have to go all the way over here to there, so that you walk up here to get the railgun. But if you're a skilled player, you could get it a different way. Of course, I haven't done this in a long time. I've been doing a lot of play testing for Doom and stuff. It's amazing how much you forget when you don't play a game for months. But yeah, you have a thing called strafe jumping in Quake. Turning your mouse and using the strafe buttons, builds up speed. It's just an oversight on on particularly on the first version of Quake. Okay, so another thing that levels need to have is that they need to have a purpose, meaning that you can't just have a random room or a dead end. So dead ends are kind of a horrible thing to have in a map. No one would ever want to go into the dead end. As you can see, there are no dead ends. Every single room is connected. They're either connected with 2 doorways, 3, 4, or 5. Just so many ways that you can get around in this map. And of course, this game also has rocket jumping, which also opens up a whole other realm of moving around in these maps. And but having something like a dead end, the only time that a dead end is worth having is if you have a really powerful item there that the player can pick up, like let's say a red armor and mega health combo. Usually if it's just one or the other, it's sometimes not always the wisest thing to corner yourself for the potential of getting a lot of health, because you could be trapped, you could be cornered by your opponents. So usually the best maps are the ones that that have a nice flow to them. And I guess you could also add that as a bonus sort of aspect of level design, is that they need to have a good flow to them. If you have things like slow elevators, doors that take forever to open, like take longer than 5 seconds to open, then it's just really hurts the pacing of the level. And so yeah, you want to have this nice flow, this constant ability to move from one end to the other. If I want to go get the rocket launcher, I can get there relatively quickly, and the rocket launcher usually spawns there. If I want to get the lightning gun, then I can get there relatively quickly, because there's so many ways that you can. There isn't just a room with an entrance and an exit, but they're all so interconnected, and this is why people love this map so much. And this is why I think that if you plan on making a deathmatch map of some kind, whether it be for Doom or Quake or even like something like Counter-Strike and Call of Duty, if you make a map, I think that these rules are definitely going to help with the overall experience, and is going to make it less tedious and more fun. And it's gonna do this amazing thing. It's gonna make it easier for newcomers, but it still will retain its challenge for experienced players. And you'll have something that is a good time for everyone. Okay, till next time.